How y'all doing? All right. First of all, my name is Darrell. I'm with the city of Houston, and my reason for being here today is talk to you about reentry, about what it takes to come home and be successful at staying home. How many people here have been incarcerated more than once? More than once? Okay. And how many people here believe that if you get a job that you're going to be okay? Believe that you'll be all right with a job? Okay. So, how many people here have made up your mind that you do not want to go back to prison ever again? All right, good. So that comes with a lot of responsibility. Now, that responsibility, I'm going to kind of outline some of that for you today. First thing I want to do is dispel the myth about a job. Those of you that have been incarcerated more than one time, every time you come home, what's the first thing that you're being told is to do what? Once you get a job, guess what happens? You start working, you start accumulating things. Car, clothes, try to get you an apartment, get you a girlfriend. All these things are expensive, they cost money. Get you, you gotta pay your fees, you gotta pay child support, different things like that, right? So as these bills start accumulating, your check starts getting a little bit smaller at first, right? But you continue to work because now you're kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul, but you're making it. But then all of a sudden, you get sick and can't go to work for about 3 or 4 days. What happened to your check?
Short.
Get short. When your check gets short, what you do?
Start buying more money.
Start thinking, man, I gotta get some money. Man, what am I gonna do? I gotta pay child support. I gotta pay this, I gotta pay that. And when you start thinking like that, what happens? That criminal thought process comes in and bam! Here we go, we back in the penitentiary again, right? Now, anybody know the definition of insanity?
Doing the same things over and over, expecting a different result.
Exactly, doing the same things over and over, expecting a different result. Going back to prison more than one time is insanity. Because the first time you went, you should have learned, right? But you went back because you didn't have any other options. Staying free means you need to find a way to think about your future. Now, a job is just what we call just over broke, or a means to an end, okay? A career is something that you have for the rest of your life and you're putting in for your future. Now, I know you probably looking at me and saying, man, I got felonies, I can't get no career. Ain't nobody gonna hire me in no career situation. Well, let me self-divulge. I'm an ex-offender. I got a lot of felonies in 3 different states. And I have a career. But it wasn't easy. I was just like you. I got out in 2007 from the federal penitentiary and I came home homeless with nothing at all. But what I did come home with is an understanding that I didn't want to go back to the penitentiary again. Just like you all just said to me, I don't want to go back. So what I had to do is I had to figure out how to stay free. Now, one of the things about staying free is this. One, you have to know how to acquire the tools to get gainful employment, because it's not easy. Most ex-offenders believe that they know how to get employed, and they really don't. Let me tell you why I say that. In most cases, you don't know how to figure out, you don't know how to do a resume properly. Most people think they do. In the penitentiary, I was a dude that wrote resumes for people for 10 stamps. You know that dude, man. Hook me up, I'm about to go home, write this resume for me, man, because I'm going out, I'm going to give me a job. Or, man, when I get out, man, I'm going to start me a business. I'm going to go home, I got this business plan. And then you get home, and things ain't what you thought they are, and you get frustrated. And then you end up back in the streets. The other thing about getting employed is knowing how to fill out the application properly. Most people don't know how to fill out the application properly. I've polled about 200 people. And out of 200 people, I guarantee you only about 70% of that knew how to fill out the application properly. That's a low number, and most people believe they do. Dressing properly. You gotta know how to dress the part. Because when you walk into a room, you gotta remember two things about you. Before you were ever incarcerated, you're innocent until proven guilty, supposedly, right? After incarceration, you're always guilty until proven innocent. Always guilty. With that being said, when you walk into a room and somebody knows that you've been incarcerated, guess what? They already have a predetermined notion about you. They think two things. Anybody know what those two things are? One, that you might steal something. How many people believe that? How many times you even came home and went around somebody that you used to be really cool with, and when you get to their house, you see they start putting stuff away and they start hiding and things like that. They start putting stuff up because they believe that because you have been incarcerated, you might steal something. And two, the second part of that is they feel like you have a propensity to hurt somebody because you've been incarcerated. Most of us as ex-offenders, they automatically believe that we have a violent streak in us. So with that being said, when you go to apply for a position, of course you have to put on the application that you've been incarcerated. When you get an interview, the other factors that are major are your body language and your facial expressions. See, when you walk in the room, you're automatically under the microscope because you're an ex-offender. They don't mind that they give you an interview, but they're automatically looking at everything about you. They look at your resume, they look at your application, they look at your body language, your facial expressions, and they look at the way you dress. How many of y'all think that you have the proper clothing for interviewing? The reason why I'm telling you all of this is because that's what our program does. I'm going to give you a pamphlet. This program is specifically designed to help you all be successful at getting gainful employment. Now, some of you feel like, hey, I just need a job because I got so much stress and so much pressure, because when you come home, a lot of times your children, baby mamas, family members, they put pressure on you to find employment because they want you to come home and take up the slack where you left off. Well, let me say this to you. You can't help nobody until you help you. If you don't take care of you first, you'll never be successful at helping those people that are now dependent on you or saying that they're dependent on you to get things straight. So you got to remember, while you was gone, they was okay.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? They may not have been happy about it, but they was okay.
Right.
So you can't come home and rush, because anything that moves fast do what?
Right.
Crash. So you got to come home and you got to take your time to be successful. I didn't become successful at being re-entered in 1 year or 2 years. I'm 8 years, going on 9 years out. I'm successful now because I have gainful employment. I own a couple businesses of my own, but it took time to get there. It took perseverance to get there. And I had to purge some things from my life. So you got to remember, you got to change a lot of things. You got to change the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you dress, the way you act, and most assuredly, the people that you associate with. Because you heard this before, birds of a feather. That's the truest statement in the world. If you hang with a murderer, guess what? By association, you're a murderer. You know what I'm saying? You hang with a thief, you're a thief. Go over there to Burger King or Jack in the Box next door, buy a burger and stand in the parking lot and eat your burger. And let Jack in the Box get robbed while you're standing there. Who's the first #1 suspect? You. Because after incarceration again, I'm gonna say it again, you are guilty until proven innocent. Remember the kid that was accused of killing the Spanish kid? That was all the way in Pearland? Well, no, he wasn't even near the scene, but they had it all on the news that because he was an ex-offender, he had the propensity to do this to this kid, and he had nothing to do with it. Well, you have to keep yourself in situations that do not allow you to get caught up. You know, some of y'all come home and you have these girlfriend situations. You may live with your girlfriend and it's volatile because she don't want you to see nobody, go nowhere, do nothing, and she'll call the police on you in a minute or call your parole officer and say, he hit me. Well, these situations are volatile. This program is specifically designed to help you be successful. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that you're healthy. We're going to make sure that you get to the doctor. We're going to make sure that you get some type of insurance so that you can get your eyes checked and your teeth checked. Because you can't be successful at getting gainful employment and you're sick and you can't go to work. So we want to make sure that you are healthy. We're going to make sure you get all your immunizations. If you need clothing, housing, food, we're going to help you with those things. The main important key is we have a behavioral health component where we get you a counselor, and this counselor actually helps you to dissipate your prison mentality or street mentality, and some of you may suffer with PTSD, and together that's a volatile situation. PTSD and street mentality, let me tell you something, it's dangerous. It can cause you to do a lot of different things. You can see the news where people are shooting their supervisors and they're doing different things. So, and I know in our community, most of us, we don't believe in talking to somebody about what's going on. Let me tell you something, I'm successful because I was able to sit down and talk to somebody and get some of the things that was going on with me out. Was able to communicate with somebody. It's free. Everything that I'm telling you is free. We're gonna help you with career development. Some of you may have skills, some of you may not have skills. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna help you decide what is it that you wanna do to forward your career for the rest of your life, and then we're gonna help you do that. We're gonna try to help you go to school if you need to go to school. If you already have a skill, then we're gonna try to help you find employment based on what your skills are. Some of you took a lot of classes and did a lot of different jobs in the penitentiary, and you just need to get certified. Well, we're gonna help you get certified. And everything that I'm telling you is free of charge. It don't cost you nothing but time. Now, we do an orientation every Monday, every Wednesday at 8 a.m. The address is on the pamphlet. If you look on the front of the pamphlet, you'll see a sticker. That's me. That's my name, my phone number, my cell phone, my email address. If you need additional information, you can definitely call and reach out to me or email me, and I will definitely get back to you. But if you're interested in changing your life and doing something different this time, the address is on that pamphlet. All you gotta do is show up at 8 a.m. any Monday or Wednesday. If you're on the monitor, make sure you get with your officer and let your officer know that you're interested in coming to this program, and put it on your schedule, and then just show up. I can't give you the full gist of what this program does in just such a short time, but when you come to the orientation, they will give you the whole overview. How many people are interested? Cool. Any questions? Anybody have any questions? No questions whatsoever? We'll help you with your documents. Now, first, before you do anything, get with Mr. Benjamin.